secondary. In this case, it's Milton Collins. Read the quarterback. Make sure you figure out which way early he's going to try and throw the football, and then flow and fly to that ball. You're a free man, and look at the ground that Milton Collins covers.
As Calvillo tried to go deep over Brandon Browner. Browner the trip. The tip, and Collins with the interception. He had 3 last year. It's a little dump off to Nick Lewis. And Lewis up close to midfield. But here's somebody at the Alouette bench calling for an illegal formation. No penalty markers on the play.
Looked like Henry Burris had trouble getting the handle of the football as he took this shotgun snap. He little fake there to Joffrey Reynolds. He finally got the handle, dumps it off to Nick Lewis, and he gets those yards after the catch.
First catch for Lewis, his 89th consecutive game with a grab. Out of double tight ends. First down. Brent Ralph's got his first catch. And the guy with a Grey Cup touchdown from Raymond, Alberta, close to another Stamp first down. Got a late flag, as I think somebody on the Stampeders offense got cut down from behind well after the play. And let's wait to find out what the call is. It's a late hit well after Brett Ralph was brought down.
Officials getting the options from Calgary Stampeders. That it definitely indicates it's against Montreal.
Major foul, unnecessary roughness. Montreal, number 40, it's a 15-yard penalty.
Diamond Ferry.
First down.
That play was over, and he came back and somehow took down Antonio Hall. So the play is over there, and there's the late shot on the right tackle, Antonio Hall. So 15 yards that Mark Trestman will not be happy about. And a first down at the 31 for Calgary. Looking for their first lead of the game, and Ralph can't hang on.
It looked like Billy Parker, the halfback for the Alouettes, was distracting Brett Ralph just enough. Took his concentration away. Brett Ralph tries to run the deeper out pattern here. It's right here, and he's just gonna come down and run the out here. And when he does, you're gonna see the man-to-man coverage from Billy Parker. Just a little distraction there. He's allowed that bump. No 5-yard rule in the Canadian Football League. As long as your shoulder pads are square to the line, you can make contact like that.
2nd and 10. Burris under duress from Eric Wilson. Now Guzman, and he brings him down. The reserve linebacker, Ramon Guzman, with great closing speed and a big defensive play.
Out of Buffalo, 6'2" and 232 pounds, a rookie. Raymond Guzman showed some pretty good speed because Henry Burris, one of the best running quarterbacks in the CFL. Wasn't a career best last year, but was close.
And Guzman, you mentioned from Buffalo, where he played under Turner Gill, the former Montreal quarterback. So it's 3rd down, and here's DeAngelis looking to get this game back on even terms. And Sandro is money again. Tie game.
This is what we expected between the two Grey Cup teams from a year ago.
Sandro beaming yesterday, talking about his new addition in the offseason. 2.5-month-old Massimo, or Max DeAngelis. He and Damon Duval battling tonight. They teamed up and actually ran kicking clinics in the offseason, both in the Montreal area and here in Calgary.
Was good on 86% last year, which is incredible. Anytime you're over 80, 50 of 58 in his attempts in the regular season.
So it was a 20-point lead for Damon Duval and the Alouettes, and now Calgary has roared back in 17 of the Stamps' 27 points off turnovers. A block punt, a Richardson fumble, and Anthony Calvillo's interception that was picked off by Milton Collins. There's Larry Taylor from inside the 10. And Dion Raymond was downfield quickly to slow down Taylor. Anthony Calvillo back to work and continues to earn the respect and admiration of his head coach.
I mean, he's the first to arrive every day at the office. He passionately prepares in detail. He continues to transcend our locker room. Anybody who sees him over the next few weeks as we go through this league will see he's probably in the best condition that he may have ever been in his career.
Closing in on 60,000 career yards, 196 tonight so far.
Third in career touchdown passes. He's now 4 shy of Ron Lancaster for number 2, and he goes to his most reliable receiver, Ben Cahoon, with a first down catch.
Take a look at where Anthony Calvillo is an all-time in football. There he is at 58,683 yards, climbing the ladder on Dan Marino. When you look at that list, the only guy that can still add to his numbers is Brett Favre if he decides where he or if he wants to play again.
We're still waiting.
We're still waiting. So is a whole bunch of people in the National Football League.
AC at 82% on the night. Last year against Calgary, 53.1%. As Coburn off the left side up to the 39-yard line.
Well, to think that Anthony Calvillo was flirting with 70% in 2008 is just incredible. You know, part of the credit goes to the offense and the coordination from Mark Trestman and the style of offense that they play with that quick passing game, lots of motion, and you can spread it around to veteran receivers as well, especially Ben Cahoon, who is really the safety blanket and has been for 12 years for Calvillo. 2nd and 6, short drop, and that pass broken up by Browner, but he'll draw a marker as Browner and Kerry Watkins continue their duel. You know, early in the game, the Alouettes were getting the matchup. Kerry Watkins on the newcomer, Ronnie Amati. Chris Jones, the defensive coordinator, has changed that up by formation.
Pass interference. Calgary, number 27. Automatic first down.
And he's got the matchup he wants. Now, Brandon Browner is going to draw the flag here. He puts his hand up on him there. And that left hand and grab of the jersey is enough to gain an advantage on the play and pull Kerry Watkins back away from going back towards that football. But Chris Jones has switched things up to get a matchup with Browner on Kerry Watkins rather than Ronnie Amati.
Remember, Browner was a late confirmation for the Grey Cup game. John Hufnagel said it was 3 hours before game time before he finally made the decision to go with Browner. And as it turned out, we found out after the game, he either played with or suffered a broken bone in the ankle during the game. Here's Calvillo, look out! Jolted, ball loose, Cahoon on it. And I'm not sure if they're going to rule that a catch and a fumble or an incompletion.
Devonzo Tate stepped into him. When you run to the flat, especially on a full roll by the quarterback, the entire flow of the defense goes with the quarterback. And the halfback of Devonzo Tate was sitting outside waiting. So basically, Avon Coburn has to catch this the first time and turn around, or it's lights out.
That was a catch. It was a fumble, and Ben Cahoon alertly got on the football.
That was close, but good play by Cahoon to do it anyway.
Loss of 3 on the play.
Football's back.
And there'll be some bruises after this one. And Watkins can't, or does hang on. Kerry Watkins somehow comes up with that and has a first down for the Alouettes.
You don't see it much, but the Calgary Stampeders decide to play a little zone defense here, and they allow Brandon Browner to play way back to the left of your screen, just outside. I put there in because you'll see him in a second. That's why he is so far off of Kerry Watkins. When Brandon Browner is playing man coverage, he's going to get up in the grill of the receiver. That time he played zone and gave Watkins a little room. Anthony Calvillo recognized it and took advantage.
4 straight 1,000-yard seasons for Kerry Watkins. It's a first down for the Alouettes in the final minute of this third quarter. Trying to reclaim the lead. Lots of time, but that ball out of the reach of a lunging Ben Cahoon.
Calvillo wanted to go to Watkins again. Ben Cahoon there on that little flat pass. He was the second choice for Calvillo. This is Watkins in an ISO. I want you to show you the matchup they get. They get him back on that newcomer, Ronnie Amani, the halfback. That's where Calvillo wanted to go. Amani held his own there, so he had to go to Ben Cahoon on the outside.
So the ball in Calgary territory. Stamped 50-yard line. It's 2nd and 10 for the Alouettes. And Calvillo has a completion. There is Brian Bratton, who Calvillo feels is the underrated man in this Montreal offense.
That was a good catch by Bratton, but I want to go back to the matchup that I'm watching closely and could become a big play somewhere down the line here. This is what happens when Brandon Browner plays man. We saw him in zone. Now he gets his hand and maybe gets away with a little tug there, but bottom line is when he's playing man, he's playing like that, up in the face of the receiver. 12. We'll watch this matchup.
Final play of the quarter after that 13-yard catch and a first down for Bratton. They fake, and here's the little toss on the end around by Larry Taylor, and he is tripped up inside the 25. That's Browner with another stop, but Larry Taylor has become a bigger part of this Montreal offense. Alouettes driving, score tied, headed to the fourth quarter. Third quarter stats brought to you by Tim Hortons. Always fresh, always.
You look at the stats, you'd think the Montreal Alouettes had a big lead because they really have won on offense, but the special teams and some turnovers have really favored the Calgary Stampeders, and the reason they've been able to climb back in this game and tie it up.
Yeah, that's 17 points off the 3 Alouette turnovers. Certainly a big part of the game, and as you mentioned, special teams. This is everything we could have wanted for the opener here in Calgary between the 2 Grey Cup finalists.
You know, Jock Climby mentioned it at halftime with the panel down here in Calgary, and he said that don't be surprised to see Calgary's offense start to get going. They had a slow start, and that's, you know, you can imagine they would after spending the whole offseason celebrating their Grey Cup championship, but they're back in it now.
Alouettes trying to get the lead back, and Calvillo looks at the end zone with a flag. Kerry Watkins can't hold on. And again, a penalty marker at the 5, and Watkins shaken up on the play. Right in that corner where the turf ends. And quickly down to attend to him, the Alouette training staff.
Major foul, face mask, Calgary, number 27. Result of the penalty, it's automatic.
There's that matchup, Browner and Watkins.
Sure is. And Brandon Browner called on the penalty on the face mask. He's got away with a couple. He's very physical when he plays man-to-man. Up on the top of your screen. And he's the inside player. Now he ends up getting caught here on Ronnie Amati. The face mask was on Browner on the other receiver down flat, and there's
Ben Cahoon.
on Ben Cahoon. And Amani catches up to Watkins.